Hello, everyone, and welcome to Real Reviews Live. I'm Chase Lee, and I'm here to cover another selection from the Dallas International Film Festival. This is my 10th movie that I saw at the festival, and since I am doing this live, if you are watching this live and you have any questions or comments, comment in the place below my face, and I will answer them accordingly. If you want to troll me, that's fine. I will still answer your troll comments. So, what am I here to review for this time? Nowitzki, The Perfect Shot. And title self-explanatory. But I mean, if you're not a fan of basketball and you don't know who he is, maybe I can enlighten you to check this out, because this is it's really nice, clean documentary. There's really nothing wrong with it. And so it's actually a German film, believe it or not, because most of the people that are interviewed in this documentary are from Dirk's family and from that part where Dirk grew up and stuff. And so I thought that was kind of cool. But don't worry, it's getting English subtitles, so it's all good. So yeah, it's I don't even have to read the description. It's basically, this movie's about Dirk Nowitzki, who is currently playing for the Dallas Mavericks, which is really cool because I live in Dallas, so it was really awesome to see like a movie based on kind of a athletic superstar that lives here. So I thought that was really cool. It's directed by Sebastian Dainhart, and that's it. So like I said, guys, and I've stated this many times before, and I'll say it again, it is really hard to review documentaries because most documentaries are good. Like, you really have to try hard to be bad. So I guess let me just tell you the overall like kind of thoughts and like perception of the movie and stuff, and we'll just go from there. So the directing. I think what Sebastian Dainhart, I probably just butchered his name. Okay. I think what he really wanted to focus on was Dirk's relationship with his coach, Holger, who basically coached him and trained him when they lived in Germany together. And this is the guy that went and saw Dirk at like when he was 14 years old, and like he kind of adopted him in a way, and he started training him. He was almost like, you know, the master, and Dirk was his apprentice, and they kind of had like that relationship, and like they would train and they would work hard and bust their ass every single day. And this was the type of coach to where he wanted to figure out, just like the title suggests, that perfect shot. Like this was insane to me, because when you watch basketball as a viewer or whatever, it's like, okay, you're shooting a ball into a hoop. Yeah, there's some geometry that has to go into it, like the way you shoot it, the way it's got arc perfectly into that basket. Yeah, there's stuff to be had in terms of conversation, but oh dear God, this guy, he was like figuring out numbers. He was feeling like the velocity, the jump, the way the arms are, the way how big your feet are. Like, this guy was like really digging into the numbers and animatronics. Like, he was actually building animation to figure out like how to do the perfect shot. And like, you know, Dirk is really tall. Like, really tall. I'm 6'4". The guy's got, I think, 7 or 8 inches on me. I think isn't he like near 7 foot? I think something like that. But like, you know, he's a tall dude, and like most people that play basketball, when they're that tall, they just, you know, they're there for rebounds, and like they'll be there to scoop up, you know, a ball that does make it into the basket underneath the net. So what Holger tries to do is like he tries to be like, you know what? Just because he's tall doesn't mean he can't shoot. And so he actually figures out a really, you know, unique kind of pattern for Dirk to shoot. And, you know, Dirk's really good at shooting. I've seen a couple of games. He's really good at shooting for his height. And you're thinking to yourself, like, this is weird, man. Like, like I said, most tall guys are there for rebounds. And so, you know, Dirk, he's more infamous for doing like kind of the tilt back, where he's like he'll shoot and he'll kind of tilt back a little bit. That makes total sense, because if he was just there and he shot it, he'd probably overshoot it most of the time. But since he's got kind of like that laid back a little bit, the ball kind of goes at a normal arc instead of like, if he did like that, it would probably be an over arc. So it kind of like all makes sense. I'm sure Holger would describe it better than I would. But anyways, this movie, like I say, it chronicles Dirk from when he was 14 playing basketball until winning the championship for the Dallas Mavericks in 2011. And it was like a Rocky vibe almost, because this movie really focused on Holger and Dirk's relationship. Like, this was a coach and an athlete's movie, like, hands down. Holger was at the screening last night, and at the Q&A, everyone wanted to ask questions to Holger. Why? Because he was one of the main focuses of this movie. Yeah, it's Dirk's movie, but this was also Holger's movie. Like, it's really strange. Like I said, this was a coach and athletes type of movie. And like I said, I just told you the movie chronicles from when Dirk was 14 all the way up until he wins the championship in 2011 with the Dallas Mavericks. So what I can tell you, what the main message of this documentary is: perseverance and hard work pay off. Dirk worked his ass off as a kid, and he continued to work his ass off when he was a teenager in his adulthood. And he's even working his ass off now, and he's 35 years old. Well, from what the documentary says, he's probably 36, but he's almost 40, which means he'll have to retire from the NBA pretty damn soon. And so, just seeing this like life and this thing being documented and chronicled, it was just really fascinating to watch, because Dirk is one of those guys that didn't really care for cameras, didn't really care for fame or attention. He just liked playing the game, and he liked perfecting, his craft. And at the end of the movie, one of the last things he says is like, I shoot a ball into a basket and people love me for it. Like, it's still kind of like, it doesn't even register with him that he's like a superstar in the sports world. And he's a nice and humble guy to where, like, he doesn't care about the money or the fame. He just wants to play basketball. And that's really genuine. That's super rare to find in athletes or celebrities or movie stars or whatever nowadays, is because they like what they do. And it's not because of the money. Yeah, the money's nice, but overall, they like just playing the game, man. And so I think that's what you can take away, is that it's hard work, perseverance, and like just dedication to your craft and becoming better and better and staying late. Like, when someone tells you to leave, don't leave. You want to stay for an extra 15, 20 minutes and better yourself at what you were trying to do that day. That's what Dirk is all about. And it shows like he's also a genuine nice guy. He does stuff for charity, and he just like staying out of the limelight and just playing the game to the best of his ability. And when they win the championship in 2011, that was almost like the pinnacle moment for Holger and Dirk, because it's like they've been working for like the past like 20 plus years for that championship. Something that they can kind of look at and go, all of our hard work, all of my training to you, and all of your playing abilities, we have reached this point where like we can't go any higher. This is like the end of our little story of Holger and Dirk's story, reaching that championship. And in the movie, you can see Dirk kind of leave the court when they do win, because it was too emotional for him. That just tells you right there that, like, this is a guy that loves the game, like, a lot. So, I mean, that's basically the movie. And like I said, I think the message is just dedication, hard work. Just continue to do what you do and better yourself. Don't be afraid to take chances. Take chances. I think that's what you can take away from this documentary. As far as the acting goes, you can't really judge a doc on its acting because it's real life. But I got to tell you, Dirk himself and his family are like funny. They're really funny. Like, there's a lot of like funny moments, and it's like, oh, these are pretty funny people. So I was taken aback by that. He's just a funny dude. But his wife was also in the movie being interviewed, and she said he was a funny guy. So, Dirk, let's hang out, man. I'm in Dallas. Let's go get a drink, and we'll tell terrible jokes to each other. So, as far as cinematography goes, I'm not a huge sports guy. But, I mean, I like watching sports occasionally. Like, I'll watch, a football game every now and then, a baseball or a basketball game, or even hockey. And what's really funny is I only watch it if it's, like, a team from the city that I live in. Just because why would you want to watch another – that doesn't make any sense to me. But Like I said, I'm not a huge sports fan, but I watch sports every now and then. But the cinematography, like I like watching gameplay footage. It gets you like super amped up, and it's almost like when you leave the theater, you want to go and like dunk that ball in the basket or whatever. So I really like the clips that they chose for this movie. Basketball is shot very well, like in like professional games. There's a lot of close-ups and stuff because it's a very confined court, unlike baseball and football where it's like a really wide scope. This is like a really more intimate game. So cinematography was really good. The interview shots were nicely done. They were clean. No complaints on that. Editing-wise, it is an hour and 45 minutes. If you were not into basketball, you may not like this movie. I mean, I'm just going to be straight up. And, you know, if you're not really interested in Dirk's story, you probably won't like this. You're probably be very bored. Because, like I said, it's just basically his life and his career so far. So, but if you are interested in Dirk, if you're from Germany watching this review, I think you'll really like it because your boy makes your home country proud. So, yeah, and, you know, I was interested in it because, like I said, I live in Dallas, so I'm interested on anyone's story from Dallas if they are from here. So it was just a really interesting story to see that this really humble kid just kind of grew up and just worked hard and look where he's at. You know, he didn't really drink, he didn't really smoke. Like, he was actually just a genuinely good guy. And it's like that's really rare nowadays. So I really enjoyed Nowitzki, The Perfect Shot. I'd have to give it. Oh, man. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I think it's really enjoyable. If you do not like basketball or not interested in Dirk's story, you probably won't like this. So just skip it. But if you are interested, if you're a huge basketball fan, and even if you're not a fan of the Mavericks and you're just a basketball fan, I would highly suggest you check this out because his story is very interesting. He's one of the legends in the league right now. So it's just a great story to be had. So 8 out of 10 for Nowitzki, The Perfect Shot. Have you even seen this movie, or if you even heard of it? Comment in the place below my face and let me know. And as always, thanks for watching Real Reviews live. I'm Chase Lee, and tune in next time for whatever I review next. I'm going to play my outro music. All right, ready? And I want to stop the broadcast. That's what happens when you do stuff live, folks. And okay, goodbye.